What is going on, guys? Consider here bringing you another League of Legends video. And I know I haven't posted a video in a long time. I think like a week or something. I've been or more than a week. I've been on vacation in Norway over the holiday, and it's been awesome. But I have an Ezreal guide on how to build him, how to play him, and stuff. So I'm just gonna be going over an example end game build on how it can look when you're done with your build. So Berserker Greaves, Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, Iceborne Gauntlet, Black Cleaver, and the Guardian Angel. This is gonna give you low attack speed but loads of burst damage and defensive stats. So it's a really solid build for Ezreal. You've got your passive, which gives you attack speed. It stacks up to a few times after you shoot your ability. So if I would hit my Q, I would get an attack speed buff. So that is really nice. But the only bad thing about it is that you don't have the attack speed without having to use your abilities all the time. So if you're a guy who likes having a lot of attack speed, this is another build for you, or not another build, but some items you could think about getting instead. So as you can see, this is the Blade of the Ruined King, and it can be replaced against the Bloodthirster. The Blade of the Ruined King is going to give you the same lifesteal. It's going to give you a lot of lifesteal. It's going to give you attack speed, and it's going to give you a passive that deals 5% of the target's current health in bonus physical damage, max 60 damage versus monsters and minions on hit. It's really a good item against people with loads of health. So if you see your enemies rushing Warmogs, get this item. It's also going to give you a unique active, which is a targeted ability that you could use to shoot your enemies with. It deals 15% of the target's maximum health in physical damage, minimum 100. It also heals yourself for the same amount of damage it does. It also steals 30% of the target's movement speed for 4 seconds when you hit him. This unique active has a 60-second long cooldown, so I think it's pretty fair. This item has been talked about, for a long time now, whether it's better than the Bloodthirster, but I'm just gonna let you try it out. I still don't think it completely beats the Bloodthirster because you gain so much attack damage out of the Bloodthirster, but it's really still a good item that is worth getting if you're playing against very tanky enemies. Also, we've got the Trinity Force, which can be replaced against the Iceborne Gauntlet. The Iceborne Gauntlet gives you this passive that when you hit your ability, like if I would hit my Q, I will slow them, the enemies, and this is 100% sure that it will. The Trinity Force passive, though, that is gonna slow your enemies by a percentage chance. You're not always gonna get this low, so but it's still you're gonna get the Sheen passive, which is probably the biggest thing, because your Q is, if you didn't know, if you don't know what a Sheen does, it's basically when you hit your ability. If I would hit an ability, for example with Ashe, I would hit my W, and then right after I would hit a basic attack. That basic attack afterwards will do more damage, but it's different with Ezreal because Ezreal's Q applies on hit effects, and what that means is that it's gonna do more damage, like directly, like immediately when you hit your Q, it's gonna do more damage, and that is really nice. So if you want the Trinity Force, you want to go for more like a more wider kind of playstyle, getting AP, AD, the slow. You get some attack speed as well if you don't buy the Blade of the Ruined King, and it's just a lot of things that are good about it. But I still like to go with the Iceborne Gauntlet. Before the Season 3 patch, when the Iceborne Gauntlet didn't exist in the game, the Trinity Force was usually the item that you would get for Ezreal, and it's an item that people get still, but since after the Season 3 patch, people have started to buy the Iceborne Gauntlet instead, because it's really an amazing item on Ezreal. It's not going to give you AD, but it's going to give you an amazing passive which slows your enemies, and it's going to give you some AP, which is also nice on Ezreal. Your ultimate and your W will do more damage out of that. So as you can see, we're doing fairly well in the game. I think I got 9 kills. This game I get 30 kills in the end. I die quite a lot. I think I die like 10 times. But I mean, it's just an example of a game that I have. And as you can see, I've bought the Bloodthirster, the Berserker Greaves, Doran's Blade, which is maybe the starting item if you want to play pretty aggressively early. If you have a healing support like Taric, he can heal me. You maybe want to consider buying the Doran's Blade for an early game item. So I have that. So if you don't have a healing support like me, this game I got Taric. You might want to go with the boosted 3 potions if you prefer that. But after the Season 3 patch, they buffed the base movement speed, and that means that you have more movement speed without the boots than you have before, and they actually nerfed the movement speed that you get from the boots. So I think it's a good patch. It makes you start with other items. I started with the Doran's Blade this game, but you can start with Longsword and 2 pots. That is not going to give you the health regenerating passive, which is that when you kill a minion, you're going to get 5 health back, and that is when you buy the Doran's Blade. But you're gonna get 2 pots, and that is pretty good as well. And the Longsword gives you the same attack damage. It's not gonna give you that 80 health, which is pretty good. But the good thing about the Longsword is that you can build it to something else, right? Pretty early, you want to aim for the Longsword, and then the Vampiric Scepter, which is going to give you lifesteal. So that is really awesome. After that, you're going to aim for the Bloodthirster. I know some people aim for the Vampiric Scepter early to get that lifesteal, and then they go for the Infinity Edge right after. It's usually not the thing I would do, but sometimes it's a good idea. The Infinity Edge is a lot more expensive, but it might be worth it, you know? So that is something you can consider for the build. And as you saw right there, I just skipped through a part of the game that wasn't really filled with anything special. So I decided to skip that because it was a bit boring watching. So I'm just gonna pick up the double kill. The enemy team gets a bit too greedy, not grouped up together after the Baron, and so that was a mistake by their side. We're gonna kill Akali right here. And a thing I love about Ezreal is that it's not a hard AD carry to play. He's pretty easy for beginners as well. You might think that, okay, he got 3 skill shots. He got his Q, he got his W, and he got his ultimate. All those abilities are skill shots. So you might think he's hard, but he's not. The E is probably the reason why he's, you know, one of the best AD carries in the game, because he can flash out of situations and to get away. And it's a really good thing for an AD carry, because a lot of AD carries are pretty squishy, no real escape mechanics like this champion Ezreal, which is really awesome. His E is I think it's better than a flash, because I think the range of it is longer, and after you flash away with the E, you're gonna send out an attack that looks like a basic attack, but it actually does AP damage. And some people might not think about that, because when you're playing AP mid, you should get the E first, because it does some nice AP damage. You should max your W, but you should still get your E first. Here we're gonna find Talon pushing bot. I think I'm gonna activate my barrier right there. As you can see, I am using barrier. He's gonna flash away, and we're gonna flash after and pick up the kill. As I said, I'm using barrier, not the usual thing that I would go on for AD carries. I like to pick ignite, but lately I've been trying barrier, and it's a really good summoner ability late game, and I would say it's better for the pros, I guess, to play with barrier. It's gonna be a lot stronger late game. So I am also playing with flash, and the reason because of that is, combined with your E, you can get away really easily. Imagine, like, I can't explain how many situations that I've gotten out of with that combo, the E and the flash right after each other. Anyway, here this is a pretty nice play. I'm just gonna juke Nami right here. I'm gonna juke her back and forth, and I'm gonna jump behind her with the Q and the W with the ultimate and pick up the kill. That is just an example of a few tricks that you can do with Ezreal. It's really fun playing him. So what I was talking about, the flash and the E combined is really powerful, and I can't explain how many times I've gotten away with that. Like, people are you're really low on health. You got like 10 health, and E flash out of there. People they get so surprised by that move, and it's really good. And if you can turn a team fight like that, if the enemy starts focusing you down way too easily, and you get really low on health, and you flash an E away, they've spent so much time focusing you, and the fact that you got away, and your team is just the enemy team is just gonna get really confused, and you can get back in there with your lifesteal when they start focusing other champions, and it can really turn around a team fight if you can get away like that. And I am not sure what Udyr did right there, but I'm gonna go from behind and pick up the kill on him. We are all pushing mid right now, and as you can see here, I'm picking up the kill of Akali, and I've done that a couple of times this game, and that is really nice. And that's actually the benefit of having skill shots instead of targeted abilities. People generally think that skill shots are worse because they're harder to hit. You have to aim for them, but to hit them. But for example, Akali's W, you can actually kill her while she is invisible if you're lucky. I mean, I've done that a lot of times, and it really shows the benefits of skill shots. So anyway, that is game, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Wait, I almost forgot. I'm also making another troll spotlight, or a champion parody, or whatever you want to call it. And if you haven't seen my Darius one earlier, it has like about 16,000 views right now, and it's really popular, or not really popular. It's pretty popular, and a lot of people suggested me to make more of those. So I'm just saying that I'm making another one. I'm not saying the champion, because you gotta keep something as a secret. So that is it for this video. Peace.